These are the issues that we've run into trying to tow our Basecamp 20X with our Toyota 4Runner and with our Land Rover Defender.
So we started with the 4Runner, and we've been using that for a year now. And even though it has the tow capacity to pull the trailer, the tongue weight of the 20X is hard to get an exact number on. And we've added 2 extra batteries, so it's probably even heavier than what a lot of the online forums say. And so it's just caused a pretty significant sag in the back of the 4Runner.
What the tongue weight is listed as on the Airstream website, from Facebook groups and forums we've seen, it seems to be pretty inaccurate and lowballs the tongue weight. So unfortunately, if it's higher, then we're over capacity for the tongue weight on the 4Runner, which we didn't know when we bought the 4Runner.
And like we said, the 4Runner has a tow capacity of 5,000 pounds, and the 20X weighs about
3,500 dry, which means with nothing in it.
Yeah. So we should be fine in that category, but it's really the tongue weight that sets it off.
Obviously, the more tow capacity on your tow vehicle, the better and easier. But we were okay with the 4Runner, and we knew that the Basecamp was more of a short-term thing, and the 4Runner was going to be around for longer, so we prioritized our dream car over a better tow vehicle.
To try to make up for the sag in the back of the 4Runner, we put airbags in the rear shocks, and those seemed to work at first, but now they don't hold their pump, and so we're kind of running into the same problem where the 4Runner just sags a ton in the back.
Right, and because last year we didn't have the Defender, we had to use the 4Runner, but we don't want to continue putting more weight than it can hold on that back axle. We did look into an actual airbag suspension, but the company that makes one that fits a 4Runner, our year and model and everything, it's on back order, and we don't know, it doesn't say when you can expect it, and so it's just not something we want to bank on. The Defender, on the other hand, is a great tow vehicle so long as you know a few things, or else you can really hurt your car. So it can tow 8,000 pounds, it can handle 771 pounds for the tongue weight, which is great and super awesome and way above what you need for the Basecamp 20X. But it's a unibody, which means that the, what is it called?
The body and the chassis.
The body and the chassis are one. So you can't use a weight distribution hitch with it. Because of the way that it attaches to the car and distributes weight, you can really, really hurt the body of the car. And you can't use anti-sway. Defender already has built-in anti-sway when you're in tow mode, so you don't need to worry about that. It can hurt the car. Be really careful with this. I talked to our Airstream dealership, and they were completely unaware that that was an issue. They were recommending hitches that could really, really damage our Defender. And so I'm fortunate that I happened to read the user's manual on the whole section of towing and saw the tiny little warning sign. But it doesn't seem like many people are aware of it. We are currently having issues finding a hitch that we can use for the Defender that allows us to hitch up past where the spare wheel is on the back. So right now we can, but it's way too close for safety. So we would need to take off the spare wheel and put it elsewhere, which is not ideal. We'll do it if we have to. So we're looking for a hitch that maybe has an extender or something of that sort so that we can still keep the spare on the back. But that's what we're running into. Our Airstream dealership was completely unaware. We've heard of a Rhino hitch that might allow us to do that, but I think with that one, you have to put the tongue jack on the side of the propane tanks. So that's like a whole other process. So we're working on that right now. It's doable, but just something to be aware of.
Basically lots of unforeseen issues, and so thankful that she caught that, because like we said, we had no idea. We knew that the Defender had a great tow capacity, and we figured it'd be fine. It's a great tow vehicle to pull the Basecamp. And it was literally as we were driving away from moving back into the trailer that she was just reading some forums, and I think you were just reading to like brush up on how the Defender can tow. It was like you were getting excited.
The user manual.
Yeah, you were like getting excited about the different aspects of towing, and then you
There's
just
a lot of really neat features.
You just happen to stumble across the fact that we can't use the anti-sway weight distribution hitch. So basically, we don't have a hitch, which means we basically don't have a tow vehicle currently.
Right. So we'll just get a regular basic hitch if we need to, but we're going to need to take off our spare wheel and put it in the trunk, I guess. We really want to have it on hand just in case it's needed, since we're going to be driving all over the country. We're going to be in more remote areas. It's really important that we have it. But we're going to spend this week looking for a hitch that we can use and keep the spare on. But we'll see. The other thing with the Defender is because of the way that it opens, you can't open the back if you're hitched up to the trailer.
Yeah.
This is fine because most of the time you're just opening the back if you're unhitched from the trailer. But we have dogs, so that's not the case for us. We're opening the back every time we stop for gas to let them go potty. It's a pretty easy solution. We're just gonna get one of those like backseat car hammocks for dogs and put them in the back seat and take all of our usual trailer stuff that we keep back there and put that in the trunk. But definitely just more of an inconvenience when towing with the Defender.
Another issue that we've run into with the Defender is we wrongly assumed that it had a brake controller when it doesn't. It has a place for a brake controller and it's set up to be easily installed, but it doesn't come with one. So make sure if you're asking your local dealership about this to actually have the brake installer installed, or the brake controller installed into the Defender.
Yeah, it can be definitely something easily miscommunicated, so just double check with that. We're gonna go to Airstream and have our brake controller installed because they probably have more experience installing brake controllers than Land Rover does, since they deal with trailers. But I'm sure Land Rover would do it too. The other issue that it's really not an issue and it's no one's fault, it's just something we didn't think about, was how we were going to attach the toolie to the Defender. We carry a toolie, which is a cargo box on top of the 4Runner.
And it's essential for our setup because we have snowboards, so like we need to put those big things up there.
Right, our snow gear, obviously super big and puffy, snowboards huge, so it's really, really crucial that we have that. And we just completely blanked that the Defender, mine did not come with a roof rack or crossbars. Came with rails to install those, but we just completely forgot. So we're getting crossbars installed on Wednesday. Fortunately, they had them in stock. It takes a few hours to install. The crossbars are $600 and the full roof rack for the Defender is like $2,500. So fortunately, we like the crossbars better anyway, and that's all we need for the toolie setup. But I'm just glad we noticed it before we were like ready to hit the road and didn't have a place to put all our ski gear.
So in summary, no matter what vehicle you're going to be using to tow your trailer or your 20X, if you have that one, just read the user manual and read the towing section of the user manual to really figure out if it's okay to tow a vehicle and what hitch you'll need. Read other people's examples online, but also be wary because you can't always trust what some random stranger on the internet says about how they happen to tow with that car. But just always double check, read the user's manual, do your due diligence, and make sure you cross every T and dot every I before you hit the road.
Remember, it's better to be safe and a few days behind on your scheduled trip than to rush things and take chances.
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. I'm Tay.
I'm Brock.